Hey everyone, it's Matthew. Welcome to another episode of MMA and Coffee. On this episode, it's a recap of UFC Fight Night, Dillashaw versus Cruz. The first I want to talk about is the Travis Browne versus Matt Mitrione. In this fight, both fighters were timid. Some of that had to do with the fact that they were both coming off losses. Neither one wanted to overcommit. And then, for the most part, to summarize this fight was Travis Browne throwing kicks. He wasn't throwing many punches. He just stayed on the outside and just kicked Mitrione. And then in the fight, the eye poke happened. I've seen a lot of people talking about the eye poke, what to do, what not to do, and one suggestion would be kind of go back to the Pride gloves. If you look at pictures of the gloves, the difference. UFC gloves, your fingers can come out more like this, whereas the Pride ones kind of cuff them, and there's padding around, so it kind of forces your fingers down, whereas the UFC ones, you can put your hands out like this. So it kind of cuffs them and it's got padding over. This is one suggestion you could do. Honestly though, my biggest suggestion is fighters just to stop putting their hand out like this in general. They need to have it closed. They need to stop putting their hand out like that. And they're doing this whole patty cake thing. Travis Browne was doing it, whole fight doing this. Rashad Evans been known to do it. A lot of fighters put their hand out like this, and then they're doing it to stay away, but what ends up happening is the person's trying to get in within their reach, and when they get in, those fingers come out and go in their eyes. My only thing with this fight is probably a point should have been deducted. If not that, the refs probably should have stopped the fight. The fighter's not going to say, hey, stop the fight. So I think it's, in that case, the ref's job to step in when the fighter's clearly not going to say, stop the fight. To step in and just say, look, we're not going to let you fight. You got one eye open. This is only going to cause you more damage. So Travis Browne, he got the win, but it wasn't an exciting win. It wasn't one that I would say moves him back up anywhere. It was just a much needed win where he played it safe, similar to when Overeem fought Frank Mir. He just fought him smart and got the W. Moving on to the co-main event, Eddie Alvarez against Anthony Pettis. In the prediction video, I said what Eddie had to do to win. That's what he ended up doing. Wasn't an exciting fight, but that's the way to beat Anthony Pettis until he learns better takedown defense and he learns how to circle away when people are coming forward. I think a lot of people are going to use that blueprint to beat him. So he obviously has to fill in that hole in his game. Because, at this point, not many people are just going to stand with him and allow him to pick them apart. They're going to grab him, put him against the cage, and win by decision. In all honesty, the only thing I can think of is, I remember when I watched the fight, there was plenty of times when Pettis, instead of getting the underhooks, and turning Eddie against the cage and push it off, he was trying to do strikes. And those strikes aren't significant. They didn't stop Eddie from trying to take him down. If anything, they made Anthony use up more energy, making the takedowns even easier as the fight goes on. So for me, he needs to stop trying to do strikes while he's defending the takedown. He needs to get those underhooks. He needs to get his hips lower than the person trying to take him down, and he needs to turn him against the cage, push him off, and circle away. But a lot of these issues I think has to do with the fact is he's moving straight backwards. He needs to start working on his lateral movement. When fighters come in to take him down, he can sidestep them. Until then though, he's gonna have this problem. All right, so moving on to the main event. This fight was pretty much what I thought it was going to be. It was a close fight, split decision for Cruz, and I think Cruz did exactly what I thought he was going to do, and it was pretty amazing to see someone come back from that big of a layaway and look just as good. I will say 4th and 5th round, he started to slow down. I'm not sure when he got the foot injury, but it was noticeable. 4th and 5th round, his movement was significantly less. And I think TJ did win those 2 rounds. So if you're looking at the fight though, Cruz won the first 3, TJ won the last 2. In my opinion, this fight was kind of similar to the Condit and Robbie Lawler fight, where you had one person doing more damage, another staying more busy, movement, and I feel like the judges did get it right. I think he won. I think he won 3 out of the 5 rounds. One judge gave it 4. I didn't see that, but this is a perfect example though when it comes to the judging, where we have a case scenario like this and then another fight almost exactly like it, where Condit won more rounds against someone who won fewer rounds but maybe did more damage in those rounds, and they got it. So in the future, I still think this is going to be a problem with the judges until they make the appropriate changes necessary for them to be more consistent. Until then, there's a big reason why they say don't leave it to the judges. You just simply don't know. For whatever reason, they're influenced by a lot of things, being at the event, watching the fight. I said it in previous videos, but my suggestion would be have the judges in a separate room, no sound, and give them the stats. You know, people watching, we get these stats, seeing how many strikes are being landed and so on. I think the judges need to see that. And I also think we need to have more than just 3 judges. Let's have 5, and then not only 5 judges. If a judge makes a controversial decision, they need to be held accountable. Either they need to be given a warning, 2nd time fined, and then 3rd time, fired. I think that would be the best way to get rid of all these bad decisions. That's what I thought about the fights. What did you think? Like, disagree? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see y'all next time.